Hey, you had to feel pretty good about that second half this past weekend. Probably not so good about the first half. Obviously, you guys made some adjustments. Can you talk a little bit about the difference in two halves in that first game?
Well, I would say the biggest thing is usually you don't play as good as you think you do, and you don't play as bad as you think you did. And that's probably the way it was in the first half. We didn't play as bad as it appeared. We did make some plays. Clemson did. You got to give them credit. And in the second half, we probably didn't play as good as you may think that we did. You know, sometimes that's the way the ball bounces. But I did think that we played with effort the entire game.
Coach, your philosophy of play first, think later, does that apply to all your players, or do you adapt that for some of them?
Well, I don't know where you got that philosophy from, but have I said that before?
I think you've said that before. I think it was quoted.
I don't know. I guess that's a new one on me.
It's a good one.
Okay. Well, you know, I think you got to be able to play fast. If you don't play fast, you ain't got a chance. So, you know, we've tried to keep it simple with our guys. We've had to in fall camp trying to figure out who the best players are, just to give the you know, the young guys a chance. You know, so we're not playing who knows the most. We're actually playing the guys who've, you know, made the most plays during camp.
You talked about the effort. I mean, overall, was it what you wanted from that aspect of it?
Well, you know, when you grade tape, you grade based off of, you know, technique and then production and effort. And one thing that I felt like we did play with good effort. We had some mental energy, and that was throughout the game. You know, now our execution wasn't exactly where we needed to be all the time. Some of that had to do with Clemson, but for the first game, you know, it's a starting point, and we got to continue to progress and get better every day.
About the play of your front seven there in the second half, and how that helped the second. I know y'all kind of changed things from and more to a zone coverage there, but for the front seven, though, how did they do that second half?
Well, you know, it's kind of when the way the game goes, you know, it's a lot of it's about third down, getting off the field on third down. In the first half, we didn't get off the field on third down, so extended drives. The second half, we did. You know, I would say that's probably the biggest thing. So, but if you look at the third downs in the second half, we won first and second down and put them in some little longer yardages. You know, in the first half, there were several third and ones, third and twos. You know,
You see obviously a lot of these guys, but you can't ever know 100% what you have, maybe even after a game. But having seen a game, were there some conclusions you came to? And I'm talking about things like, I mean, Aaron Davis plays a game at free safety part of the time. Looks like he played a lot of the game at boundary corner. You kind of making some decisions on, yeah, he's better there than there, or is it just reacting to personnel and adjusting accordingly?
Yeah, I think we know who we need to coach, and our players know that we need to get better. We need to get better in a hurry. We got a long ways to go. Our guys understand that. They watching the film, they saw the mistakes that we made during the game, which was a lot of them. Some of them were technical, some of them were mental. And you can't just win games by playing tough and playing with effort. You know, there's you got to be able to think, and when teams are presenting multiples, you got to be able to handle it. And there was a lot of lessons to be learned from Saturday.
When you say you need to be better in a hurry, is it hard to kind of get their attention that way with how you guys, you know, the second half looks pretty good in terms of what you held them to?
No, I don't think you can be result-oriented. You got to look and see exactly how you played during the game, and I think our guys they're starting to understand that. I mean, the tape don't lie. You know, there's a couple of times if you watch the tape, there's guys running open, you know, and some of the guys went up front so the quarterback don't get the ball off. You know, there's times in the back end that, you know, somebody guarded their guy really well. We don't have the right pass rush lanes, and the guy scrambles. So it takes 11 folks doing the right stuff all the time, and our guys are understanding that. We just gotta pay attention to detail and continue to work hard every day to get better.
From Jerry, the number of subs you use, especially in secondary, is that something you're going to continue, or is that more just the nature of that game?
You know, I think that there's a lot of guys that deserve a chance to play on our football team, and some of it has to do with, you know, it's not clear cut who the best guys are yet. You know, if we said probably, I guess, in the fall camp started, if we feel like we got 11 guys that deserve to play, we'll play 11. If we got 18, we'll play 18. And I don't know how many we played other than that, but we played the guys that we felt like they were ready to play.
There's a couple of guys that I fully expected, maybe based on reputation or whatever else, to play in the game. Shaddle Fintig and Malcolm Parrish. And according to the participation chart, which may not be accurate, it looked like they didn't play in the game. Can you talk specifically about those two guys? Or you say, did they play in the game at all, or you still got to see more before you're ready to put them in there?
Yeah, they're not. They wasn't ready to play. They wasn't ready to play. If they were ready, I would have played them. You know, they still got, whether it's physical. You know, they've been hurt some in fall camp. You know, and some guys had to play that wasn't ready to play, so we can say that too. You know, but the guys are working hard, and I mean. You know, Malcolm's a true freshman. You know, true freshmen are not supposed to play, really. You know, I mean, Shadow got here in the middle of July. He hurt his shoulder in camp. He probably in the first, I guess, 28 days of camp, he might not have practiced but 6 or 7 times because of his injury. So it's not fair to put him out there when he's not ready.
But not an indictment that he can't play or can't eventually help you.
No, and some of the other guys that played in the games, not an indictment on them either. You know, you really, it's kind of new for us. We've got a lot of younger guys in there. We move some folks around from the spring to fall camp, and you have injuries in fall camp. You got to make decisions, and you'll see if you're at practice, we're practicing guys in different spots every day. Just trying to find the right combinations, but when it gets game week, we kind of have to pick a lane and say, okay, now we got to train these guys this way this week.
One true freshman that played a lot was Sanders. When did you have an idea in the preseason that he was going to be a guy that you wanted out there?
Probably the first day we put pads on. You know, he's kind of wired 220. He's you know, you don't have to get him going. He's going when he hits the field. Now, is he always right? No. Should he be playing as a true freshman? Probably not, you know, but right now he's one of our better players, and we just got to keep coaching him up, and he's got to continue to work hard every day to get better.
Coach, what do you think about the timing of this bye week? Here you are off a big win, relatively healthy. Do you kind of want to hit someone else this weekend?
No, I like it. I like it. It's the same thing that happened last year at Pitt. When I was at Florida State, we played Pittsburgh the first week. You know, usually in football you improve the most from the first game to the second game. I like having the bye week in between because for us in a new system, it gives us an opportunity to go back and make a lot of corrections, get back to kind of the fundamentals. They can kind of see themselves. It lets us know kind of where we're at and really how far we've got to go, which is a long ways.
Herrera was player of the week defensively. Watching the film, was he pretty much 100%, or was there, or 95% doing what he needed to do? Or?
No, you know, you know, it's kind of the way football games go on defense. It's, you know, some weeks you may get an opportunity to make a lot of plays. You know, they may the play may present itself. Some weeks you may be playing the same position and you hardly ever get the same opportunities. It's just kind of the way the game works. And, you know, he had an opportunity to make some plays, but we had some other guys that I thought played pretty good on the inside. I thought, you know, Reggie Carter played well. The snaps he played, I thought Timmy Kimbrough played well. You know, I felt like Ramit Wilson, he played like a guy that hadn't practiced for 2 weeks, and he knows that. And he knows he's got to get better and get in better condition, you know, so he can play at a high level all the time.
Did you like the way, I know there were some plays in the secondary that you weren't crazy about probably, but it seems like they played the ball, knocked a lot of balls away that could have been caught, that kind of thing?
Well, you know, the guys, we didn't have very many mental errors back there. We wasn't cutting people loose. They've done a really nice job communicating, considering they've played in a bunch of different combinations since I've been here. You know, the guys have really good attitudes. They're working hard. We have a long ways to go here. I mean, basically all we've done is we've guaranteed that we can go 1-11. That's all we've done. I know that y'all want to keep blowing smoke and all that, but now we're 1-11. We're working from there.
As a